Hello, and welcome again to a Cards and Cardboard digital review. I'm Benjamin Hernandez, and I'm here to show you a little bit of Ascension online. This is, I think, still the closed beta, seeing as I can't really view the store or do anything else here. But you're kind of looking at what's going to be available for Steam in the future here. Lots of features, I think, are already available, like being able to go online and play with other people. I think I'm trying to load a promo pack here. Hopefully I can actually buy it. Oh, yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I pulled up another page here. Not sure what the status is of the game, however, at this time on Steam. I know that on the iOS and Android it is fairly up to date with most of the newest releases of Ascension for all the people out there who actually play the actual game in the physical form. Honestly, I'm a fan of deck builders, but I don't have space for that many more deck builders in my collection, so... Alright, so as you can see, right now I have the Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, and the various promos that will be available. So we're going to go ahead and turn on Return of the Fallen, which added a few interesting rules to the game. We're going to go ahead and set some computers, which I believe right now you can only set them as easy. Yeah, I can't really do anything about them. But what's nice is I can at least put in my name here. And I think change my icon? Yeah, it's some of this interesting artwork, as always. I'm gonna be Crazy Toothless Guy. Alright, there we go. So, once you've done kind of setting up your game and choosing whether you're playing locally or online, you'll just kind of create the game. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the deck building premise, the idea is that you basically start with a deck of 10 cards, and what you're going to do is buy from the central pool of cards here various cards to put into your deck, while finding ways to cull your deck and make it more efficient over time. So there's two types of resources in this game. You've got your rune symbols and your fight symbols here. Runes allow you to buy more heroes that will go into your deck. Fight symbols allow you to actually fight things that are up here for points and special abilities. Now, one thing I like here is I can actually see what's in my deck left here. Over here I can see what's all in my discard. I can end my turn here, and I can play just all the cards right here. So, boom. I've got, not a bad starting hand. I got 5 runes, which allows me to start kind of building stuff. So I'm going to start playing a kind of voidy game here. So I'm going to take a Death Seeker, and I'm going to go ahead and take this Guardian over here. And why not? This Enlightened Hero could actually do me some good, and he's worth a point. So then I'll just end my turn, and play will go on to the other AI players. Now, as the game progresses, I can actually kind of see what is... I can't exactly see what is in their discard piles here. Most of the time, they're still kind of working that out. But if they had an artifact card or anything out in play, it'll be available to be seen up here. Now, there's two types of cards in the game. You got these heroes that you play from your hand and artifact cards. Basically, the difference is that heroes and stuff like that will be played for resources. Artifact cards will be kind of out there for every turn benefits. They don't quite go away after they're attached to you. Heroes and other cards will go right into your discard pile, even if you play them or not. So, let's see here. Draw a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Or discard a card. That's not bad. That keeps me going. Alright, so now we had a new guy enter play here, which when he has a Fate ability, which means when he enters the center row, each player may banish a card into your hand or discard pile. So in this case, I'm going to get rid of an Apprentice, make my deck a little bit more efficient. Now, I don't have anything to fight over here, but thankfully there's always these cultists that you can send to the void over here, and they're always going to give you a victory point. So the goal of the game is to try to get as many victory points in your deck via cards with the little victory point icon in the bottom of them here, or earn them from killing monsters, which is seen up here. and whoever has the highest total after all of these honor points at the side here have gone away will actually win. Now for the digital version, you actually do have a log that shows you what each player kind of did for the acquired and played and defeated and banished. So that way you can kind of play a little asynchronously. You also have the menu here, which is pretty basic. It doesn't have many options yet. It can teach you about the game. If you want to know more about the rules or see all the cards, you're going to have to actually go into the actual list at the beginning of the app at this time. Now this differs from the UI that's present in the Android version and then the version that you'll see on the iOS. This is a little bit cleaner. It's actually meant for tablets as well by the looks of it, but really and truly it's nice and big buttons. It allows you to kind of click and drag and hover, which is excellent because hovering over is something that you don't often get in ports of games. And since this isn't a port, you actually have this feature where you can kind of pull up and look at these cards. In this case, I got yet another handful of apprentices, which is not going to do me any good up here. Everything's way too expensive for me to buy. So I'm going to go ahead and buy some infantry and a militia, or a mystic, to make my deck a little bit more pricey, you know, get some +2 abilities. And maybe eventually start doing some stuff here. So I've got 3 creatures out here which I want to defeat. As you can see, they have their little values up here, but they also have a little reward value over here, which gains you more points, and you may banish cards from the center row, or do things like gain a rune, or in this case, you may banish a card in the center pile, which actually allows you to cycle through the game quicker. Now, one thing that's kind of sad to note is that there's no way to actually know how big the deck is at this time. So that was one of the biggest concerns with the Ascension as a whole, is that the more packs you put together, the more cards you really have to worry about managing. Yeah, let's just keep playing cards. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and banish that guy. And we're going to get rid of that construct. And I'm going to get rid of an apprentice. Alright, so I made my deck a little bit more efficient and I played some cards. But yeah, if you actually get this game and kind of build up your deck of cards that are going to enter this 5-card or 6-card row here, the more expansions you add to it, the beefier it gets, and the less likely you're going to be able to draw cards of certain types. I believe the recommendation is now that you only kind of add 2 together, but people out there like the Mega Game where you're setting all these decks out, and each of the decks kind of comes with a unique rule. The base game doesn't have really anything unique about it. The second game, the Rise of the Chronicler, or whatever it was, actually allows you to... yeah. Okay. Basically, when monsters or heroes come out into play, they have that fate thing that we saw earlier, which is part of that tactic of dealing with, you know, managing your deck of cards and letting things happen. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that up. Alright. But yeah, it's basically this for hours on end. You keep playing until you run out of those honor points by killing monsters or cultists. You try to make your deck as point-based as possible and as efficient as possible. And you just kind of sit here and wait for your turn to roll back around. Now, a lot of people say this game has a lot of player interaction, but really and truly, that's kind of something to question here. Because really, I can only mess with these people if I play the right cards to actually get the ability to mess with them, is the easiest way of putting it. Okay. I'm gonna banish that thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Alright, I guess not. Take that. And I guess I'll take that. I know I'm not making my deck terribly efficient, but, you know, that's how it goes. What's more to say about this game? It's kind of big. Like, people really like it. The artwork quality of this game is actually really nice. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I should be posting this video or not, but I definitely have to say I like playing Ascension by myself against AI opponents. If I was going to be playing with a group of people, this would probably be the way I play it, although face-to-face would definitely be in my wheelhouse more. Okay, like that. Like that. I don't have that. And I get to make a choice here. Do I choose one or the other? I'm going to choose that. So that way I can actually do this and choose people to destroy constructs now. And we're going to go ahead and take this void construct, which is going to give me extra fight for later on. But as you can see right now, I don't really have many ways of like getting rid of stuff from my deck right now. Thankfully, I've got this card here. You know, you may banish a card in your hand or discard pile, which is pretty much one of the biggest ways you're going to get rid of cards from your deck and make it more efficient. It's a lot of repetition, though, and if you actually had the physical version of this game, there's a lot and a lot of shuffling. In fact, that they made a promo card joke that you can actually force another player to shuffle your deck while you're waiting for your turn to come around, kind of thing. Alright, so let's play that and get rid of, oof. Well, let's get rid of Apprentice, I guess. Even though it's in my hand, it's kind of worthless to me. I'm going to keep playing Void for a while here and take another heavy infantry and kill off the cultists there. I mean, that's nice that you always have a few options all the time that are going to increase your efficiency with your deck, or at least your potency. But, you know, if you are watching what your opponents are doing, you can kind of guess what cards they want to buy, maybe, and kind of counter-buy them. Although, really and truly, it's a lot of just trying to take whatever is going to optimize your deck and hope you get lucky. Now, they took a similar idea of this and implemented in another game, which I'll be reviewing later on, called Star Realms. Actually, some of the people who founded White Wizard Games, the guys who made that, came from the company that made this. So it's kind of an interesting way of showing that over time things can evolve and maybe change, hopefully for the better. Some can hope for the better, definitely. I think Star Realms is a bit more refined, although it is definitely just as brutal as this as far as kind of some of the stuff you're dealing with. Damn. Alright. Void Hero. Take that. And let's kill Cultist. Bam. Let's take that. It's more points. Plus he cycles through the deck quicker. So, at this time, definitely recommend this game. It's very fun to just pull out and whip out a few quick games. I try to emphasize quick, even though this seems like it might take a while, but once your deck starts kind of cruising through the momentum, things go a lot quicker in the game. So, again, it's a momentum building game. You're going to be focusing a lot on trying to acquire things that are going to make your deck more efficient, try to kill things quicker than the opponents do, if you're lucky. So we're going to go ahead and play those. Man, that's rough. Oh boy. Well, I kind of want to kill something because that's the strategy I'm going for. So we'll kill a guy from the center row. I get additional points for that, which was really going to boost me up. I'll go ahead and kill a Snapdragon. Oh, and I'll take a heavy infantry just to keep the momentum going. As you can see right now, I'm kind of playing against easy computers, so they're not buying like the optimal cards all the time. Neither am I, honestly, but a lot of people kind of like to think that the strategy of this game is just buying all those optimal cards, and you know, once it's out there, you definitely want to buy it if you're lucky enough to. And unfortunately, it made downtime really a pain because in the physical version, you had to like start counting up everything and keep track of it all. Thankfully, in the digital version, it takes care of most of that, and you can always look and see what these constructs are that your opponents have, and kind of understand how they work, and also know that you have your own that can kind of back you up here. So now I have that guy down here, so once per turn I gain an extra fight, which is awesome. And we're gonna keep killing guys. And we're going to get rid of stuff I don't want. Oh, boy. I need some extra economy if I'm going to keep this going, because there's a lot of these bigger guys coming out. You know, that's really all you can say about this game. I would wish I could show you the end. Unfortunately, with a 4-player game, this does take a little longer. And actually, in all honesty, I think I dig this better as a 2-player game experience because of that tight interaction, and you know, you only can buy a few cards on the field at a time, whereas if you're waiting for an entire group of opponents to go by, suddenly cards will come out and then leave before you even have a chance to play with them. And that's kind of something that really hurts your style of gameplay and limits your options. But with a 2-player game, there's a little bit more room for wiggling around and kind of understanding what your opponent has in their hand and what's going on. I'm gonna cancel that real quick. Oh, darn. Darn. I messed up. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, defeat that guy. I don't have enough to defeat anything else except for the cultist, and we're gonna go another one of those guys. I think I'm gonna end the video here, and maybe I'll do an edit here to kind of show you what the end game looks like. Or if you want, I'll just kind of keep going here. It seems like the game's starting to pick up on the momentum a little bit. There's only 48 more honor left in the game, so it seems like my opponents are starting to get the hang of what the game is actually about, and that's getting all those points as quickly as possible. So, let's see. I'll let it roll for a few more minutes and let you into my strategy a little bit here, but other than that, I got nothing right now. Might as well just play everything from my hand once it comes to my turn. Unfortunately, there's no way to kind of auto-forward everyone's actions. It allows you to see everything. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of people's constructs, and I'm going to buy another one of these guys. Oh, let's buy another infantry. Keep up the fighty. Fighty's where the points are at. Come on. Okay, apparently the computer is deciding what it's discarding. Yeah. And I mean, standard deck building fare, it's nice to have a good card pool to pull from, and it's nice to have unique cards. However, with this kind of game, it's a little hard to know all the pool when it keeps increasing every year, it seems. So if you're picking up the digital version of the game or the physical version of the game, make sure you keep that in mind when you're actually making your purchasing choices, is that you might not want to stick them all together, and you want to maybe find ways to separate them out at least. I don't even know if they actually have little markers on them to represent what suit they're from, or what thing they're from. I must discard a card. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I'll get rid of you. And then draw a card. And then draw a card. Next time I defeat a creature, if I played any more Lifebound heroes, which I don't have, which is kind of silly. But I can kill this thing for extra points and some extra money. And then pick up that Lifebound. What's great about that little stag is it actually gives you the ability to pick up more points. Like, you can go ahead and gain 2 runes or just 2 points from playing it. I like the fact that the game doesn't pause whenever somebody's checking out their screens. Again, I would, if I actually had a chance to play this with actual people, I think it would be more fun, although a game is always going to be more fun in person, as always. But this really just kind of clears up all that muck. You know, if you had this on the tablet and you were doing pass and play, you know, it'd be a little easier and quicker, and definitely appreciated. However, a computer version of the game, unless you got Skype up or something, it's going to be really rough to kind of actually get your enjoyment out of this game with other people. Although the AI, you know, despite being easy mode right now, it can be quite lethal at times, which is very interesting. Ugh. Alright, I'm going to discard more stuff. And I messed up again. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not playing well. But that's what I get for being distracted by presenting this game to you all. Again, we're down to 3 honor left. Everyone will kind of get their last turn in there, and we'll find out what the end score is. based on the construction of everyone's deck and how many points they've earned through combat. Now, there's no way you can actually calculate your current star total in your deck right now. I kind of wish that was a thing. Oh, nope, never mind. So I actually came out in dead last. So there's an example of why I did poorly. But you can also check out everyone's decks and kind of see what they were playing with, or what they had left and what counted for points. Again, the 6 cost cards up here really kind of changed the game a little bit for him. So you have your actual honor that you earned up here, and then your card honor up here as well. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you're getting into. Now I'm going to take you back in the main menu here. Other than that, you got all the rules here. Your options, your cards. Unfortunately, the rules link actually takes you to a web page, which is not good in my opinion. You should probably embed that into the actual game itself. You know, it's quite easy to find games out there or create games, and you can actually have many asynchronous games going on at one time. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. Okay. Apparently, we're still in beta, so things are like this are bound to happen. Alright, so that's been Ascension online, the Steam version. It is available via Steam. I don't know where else it's available for other than the iOS and Android. You're looking at, for the beta itself, probably $10 to $15. There's no real listed price right now. I was part of the Kickstarter, and that's why I have access to this right now, but I have a feeling that when this comes out of beta, it'll be much more improved and will probably be a pretty stable game in the Steam community, at least for a little bit. So until then, that's been a Cards and Cardboard digital review. Thank you so much for watching, and we're signing out.